welcome to the Brainwave podcast. This is a show where we learn, lead, and leverage. This is the very first episode, but I promise you, double promise you that you're going to enjoy the segment. So today we're going to be talking about how students navigate the exciting journey of education and their personal development, basically. I am your host, Mary Jane, and I'm so thrilled to kickstart this first episode today. So today we have a very special guest. I don't even need to blow his whistle. He's a very, very important person in the education leadership space. He's somebody that a lot of students look up to. He's somebody that is well outspoken. He knows the top-notch things and the lowest things about navigating academic journey. So today I am joined by Mr. Chief Nayawanevu, the National President for Nigerian Association for Computing Students. Please introduce yourself.
All right, thank you very much, Mary Jane. It's another pleasure to be here with you at this time. My name is Chief Nayawanevu. I lead the largest student community in Nigeria, which is the Nigerian Association of Computing Students. And we as computing students, we actually do quite a lot. From the leadership perspective, we get to forefront the IT development of youths in tertiary institutions in Nigeria. So thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to our discussions and deliberations in this segment.
Well, I can't be the one blowing his own whistle, because this young man is somebody that he's a student, but he's an outstanding student. He knows the do's and the don'ts. He knows everything that you out there as a student needs to know in order to grow yourself as much as excel in your academic journey. So introducing the topic, we're going to be diving deep into the world of innovation. So today we'll be talking about exploring the world of innovation and entrepreneurship of young minds. So when they say the young mind, entrepreneurship for young minds, what comes to you? How do you resonate with the word entrepreneurship?
So being an entrepreneur and also being a young person actually gives you like an extra hand, because as a young person, the landscape has changed. Before, you see people when they ask what do they want to be in future. I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer. But nowadays, the whole thing has changed. You see people, they want to become content creators, they want to become YouTubers, and they want to become a whole lot of other stuff. So as an entrepreneur, as a young person, you have the available resources to diversify into a lot of things, and that fighting spirit as a young Nigerian also gives you an edge. That's why most of the times you see that when people happen to travel out of the country as a Nigerian, they excel in everything they do. So entrepreneurship as a young person is something that is moving really, really fast in Nigeria, like the Wi-Fi. You see people as young as 16, they're already into business. They're either selling hair, or they're doing makeup, or they're into tech or things like that. So the Nigerian space for young people in terms of entrepreneurship is really, really going very, very well. And in the next couple of years, we'll definitely see unicorns and other very beautiful startups that will emanate from the Nigerian tech space.
I'm really so excited about the fact that Nigerians are really thinking outside the box. You don't need to sit down in your space and keep waiting for things to happen. Even with you sitting down in the space of your house, in the space of your room, you can make things happen. That's why most of our students, most of our young ones are really diving deep into this content creating that you've mentioned. So speaking about that, the next question is, can you share your journey as a student leader and the entrepreneurship enthusiast that you are? Can you give us a deep dive into your journey?
Wow, it's gonna be a very long.
I know.
It's gonna be a very long conversation.
Come on, I know.
So I'll just try as much as possible to not go really into detail, because if I do that, it would definitely spend a lot of time here.
I'm an entrepreneur. Okay.
So my journey started as far back as 2014 when I left secondary school. Immediately after secondary school, I was moved to learn a particular skill then, and I ventured into photography and graphic design, where I worked at this design studio then, which produced photo enlargement and things like that. So I went through the vocational skill acquisition of learning photography and learning graphic design. Then moving towards that, I wrote JAM about twice. And what I actually wanted to study was medicine and surgery. So it was just like my goal then to become a medical doctor. But as things may have it, the JAM didn't really favor me then. And with the, I wouldn't call it desperation per se, right? But with the way things were going then, I just had to buy a polytechnic form, right? To get admission in polytechnic is quite very, very simple in Nigeria. You just have to buy it from and get into school. So I applied for computer science then going to school. And for me, I'm always very inquisitive. I want to know why when you switch on the bulb, the light comes on. What is the magic behind that? So then I ventured into, then I was very good in design. Then at some point I was seeing senior colleagues who were, doing programming and things like that. You see people, they are writing stuff on computers and it's reflecting on the mobile device. So I got entangled in that. I started learning courses on mobile development, Java programming, Android development, SQL, and Gradle, all those programming languages. Then I joined communities. I joined developer communities, which is where you have a numerous amount of people come together, to work towards a certain goal or aim, or be driven by a certain passion, right? Then I got motivated, very motivated in 2017 to push forward to do extraordinary things when I attended Google Developer Festival in 2017 in Apa, right? And it's always a story I share when I give keynote sessions at events, right? And we're all seated waiting for someone to arrive from California, and his name is Samson Godi. And we're all waiting for him, and he walked past. Immediately we're like, oh, everybody, he's around. And he walked past me, and I was like, he was within my age range.
Are you serious?
And he was within my same height and same body stature. And immediately the whole crowd stood up and everybody was applauding, and he took the stage and he shared his story how Google took him to California because of his programming skills, because of what he was doing with computing. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? Sometimes I have to sit down and say no, we have to make a life out of it, right? Then from there I ventured more into community advocacy, whereby we try as much as possible to bring more people to learn about tech. Then I joined school politics. For you to be a leader in school, within the tertiary institution, you have to play politics. You know the way Nigerian politics go, right?
Definitely.
It's you have a little mirror of it in a tertiary institution, right? Then I became let me share one exciting story, right? Because I've always had this, try and fail. Things don't really go, I wouldn't call it bad luck, right? But things don't really go straight forward when it comes to my own things, right? I have to try and, put effort. So I contested for course rep to start with, and I got 2 votes.
2 votes out of how many?
Out of 100 or so.
Yeah.
2 votes there. So I was being laughed at, right? That was in my ND 1 years. Then moving forward, I contested for Mr. NACOS, King of NACOS during Abia Poly days in 2017. Then I also lost to someone who, nobody felt like he deserved a chance, right? And it was as if my whole world was crumbling then in school. Because when you're walking past, people will now be pointing.
Those things really matter in school.
Yeah, it really matters. And people will be pointing out, see this guy is just forming. He has contested course where he lost, contested for this one, he lost. They should just go and rest. You get. Then an opportunity came for me to also contest again, right? That's why I always tell people, do not give up even after after how many trials. So I contested for Provost 2 then, and people were you have come out again. Hope this one wouldn't be the same as well as has been. And during my campaign and everything, I got it's politics, right? I got stepped on some people because, you're belonging to this party, this person is supporting this person. And I was actually unopposed, right, at that time. And someone was like, because you did this, I will buy phone for your friend. And the person will contest against him.
Wow.
And that was what actually happened. And the guy contested against me. And I won, definitely.
That's nice.
And it started from there. Then from Provost, I got to participate more in NACOS activities within my school. Then from there, moving to the regional level, where I like to network a lot. I like to meet people, talk about ideas, and do a lot of stuff, right? Then I met with my then boss, Prince Obina. Then he contested for the regional coordinator for the Southeast region under NACOS. Then by the grace of God, he won, and I was under him as his secretary general. And it was then that the whole leadership thing blew up wide, because it was no longer a state thing. So it's now where you are in charge of all the schools within the 5 eastern states. So then I got to travel. Within my tenure then, I traveled to about 25 states across the country. I went to Bauchi, I went to Gombe, I went to Jos. Anywhere there's an event, I'm there to talk about NACOS, to seek for partnerships, to seek for collaborations. And then I had a very small body, like you should see. I had a very small stature, right? Then I was always reaching out to organizations, reaching out to different companies, and seeking for how we can better our organization and provide more for students, because during our time we had very little access to resources and opportunities, and there wasn't really anybody to open the door for us, right? For organizations like let's say CBN, EFCC, all these big government organizations, someone has to speak on your behalf before you actually get into such places. So there was nothing like that. So it was part of our vision then to see how we can create that relationship with these organizations, so that when our members want to either do their 6-month IT or 1-year IT or national youth service, they'll have easy placement there. Then after that, I worked, during my time within South, I worked with 3 past presidents, which is Abolade Kiltomiwa. He's now in the UK. He was former national president.
Of the same NACOS.
Yeah, NACOS national president. Then I worked directly with my boss, Abubakar Sadiq Hassan. He was national president, I think 2017, 2018, around that year. Then I worked with the immediate past president, Abolade Olamilekun. Yes, I worked with him as his chief of staff. And so the opportunity came for me to, step up to the national level. And when it's just like you contesting for president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, right? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of politics inside. There's a lot of, a lot of diplomacy you have to do, and to the glory of God, everything went successful. I actually, attend that position as national president. So it's been very rough. It's been very fun. There's been a lot of lessons learned within 2014 till now. It's 10 years, right? Yes. So it's been a very long journey.
10 years, that's really long time. I mean, following the thread of your conversation, all the stories, also you can definitely see resilience, adapting to change, not letting anything pull you down. I mean, that's something a whole lot of students right now cannot relate to. I can't even once they try something and it's not going their way, boom, they're off. They'll try the next thing. Today they start doing content creating, and it seems like this one is not. They'll dive into graphic designing, and then they'll think it's something that will blow up in the next 2 seconds. Everybody wants to be like the next big thing after sliced bread, right? So I want to see how you are. I want to understand. Can you just give us a little bit of an insight? How do we? You said you've been to 25 states. Doing the.
Now it's 32.
I don't even know how somebody does something like that. I still maintain studying in school. So just, give us a little bit of information on how you balance your academic journey and then your leadership journey. Because I know that these two things are things that don't really, that can't style you all the time. So Give us a little bit insight about that.
Okay, so it's I'm someone who loves to multitask a lot. I don't believe in doing one thing and doing just that thing, right? Managing academics, leadership, and then I most of the time, I think from 2016 I started working full time with a lot of companies and organizations, right? Managing academics and leadership is something that sometimes when I sit down and think about it, I still ask myself how I managed to do it. Because what I believe is prioritizing your time according to which one is very delicate, right? So if I have, let's say, I have this podcast now to attend to, which is under activities that deals with, NACOS, right? And I have exams, lectures, and the rest. There are some lectures that I would have to give up on, but giving myself the compelling myself that, okay, for this one I've missed, for this lecture I've missed, I'll have to put in more work and, cover up for those lectures that I missed. I mean, when it comes to exams, then you now have to rearrange how your modus operandi is. So you have to prioritize exam, because exam is not something, you can always, you can just skip and, get away with it, right? Then I tried as much as possible to make sure that the scale was balanced, the scale of preference was always balanced. Whichever one I cannot attend, I'll try as much as possible to send someone when it comes to leadership. But it made me to work more over time, and it also affected me health-wise, right? People see you, you're always there, you're always out there, and without knowing that it actually costs you a lot in terms of health-wise, I most of the time broke down, got sick, and I always tried as much as possible to rest, because it made me, I started sleeping in a day. I only sleep about 4 to 6 hours.
But that standard as a human being, we all need 8 hours sleep to function. It's just so mind-blowing that you were going through all those stress, back and forth, school stress, leadership, traveling, trying to make sure that all the association you're leading is not sinking, as well as your grades in school are not also sinking. I mean, there are so many take-homes from the conversation that we are really having, and which leads me to the next question, right? Have you, in the course of you balancing the two aspects of your life, did you at some point have any near dropout, any near dropout feeling did your academic journey face any threats at any point that you were I need to drop out financially, or, even if it's financially, or the stress, or did you have any kind of
No, first of all, before I start anything, be it school, be it leadership, be it whatever, I always tell myself, for every journey I'm starting, no matter whatever the difficulty is, I'm never backing down. And when I came into NACOS, before I attend the presidency, I told myself, if at some point everybody, because the presidency is not something just go in, you have to have people on your team, which is the national secretariat. You have national secretary and director of finance and audit, right? I told myself, if at some point my colleagues, it's a volunteer role actually, if at some point my colleagues, abandon me on this mission, I'm going to make sure that I finish it down to the last part of it. And for school, my academics never really dropped. Never really dropped at all. From Polytechnic, I graduated from ND with 3.49 over 4.0.
That's nice. Are you serious?
Which was then I challenged the school authorities that I needed to have a first class, which was 3.5. So what denied me first class was 0.01. So in my degree, which is bachelor degree at Microbiology University, my CGPA, because we're yet to compute the final result, my CGPA currently is about 4.4 something.
I mean, that's brilliant.
Over 5.0. So I might still get to first class if God's willing.
We're praying for you. First class is your fortune. We still need.
I receive it.
Okay, well, I don't know whether Nigerian students are really following the conversation we're having, because this is something that will impact you, impact your journey, impact what you're learning, impact whatever it is that currently, whatever it is you are facing, or whatever whatever box you find yourself into, you should always know that some people have been into something like that, or even worse, and they still do. You just have to stand up, dust off yourself, and keep pushing, because if you don't push yourself, nobody will push you at the end of the day. So you just have to be resilient and know that change is constant. You have to, have the ability to adapt to change if you really want to move forward in life. So now, what would you say? What do you think that how do you stay updated with trends? I mean, you're a student, you are focused, you have things going on for you, you have your leadership to do. How do you now stay off with trend? I mean, your social life, how do you stay up with trend? Okay, let me go ask you. If you want to say, okay, let me relax, I don't want to talk about school, I don't want to talk about NACOS, what do you do to kind of calm yourself down, be in a good mood? Do you enjoy music?
Can you guess?
I should guess.
Yes.
Shouldn't guess. Is it his football though? Is it football?
No, it's not. It's actually the list of things you can think of.
Is it sleep? Because I don't like people that work so hard. Once they get small time to sleep, like you're giving them heaven.
I prioritize sleep a lot.
Wow.
Because I love sleep. Let me put it that way. I so much love sleep in the sense that it just gives me this total rejuvenation, right? This total body reset. Some days I just take a day off, mostly Saturdays. Phone on DND, no social media, and I sleep for have breakfast by 10, sleep from 11 a.m. till 4-5 in the evening. And whenever I do that, I wake up like a newborn baby. So outside sleep also, I love to travel, and I love to cook.
You love to cook?
Any food, I will cook it, maybe.
Are you serious?
Maybe outside maybe like some other the way to.
Well, that's a plus. It's a plus because the streets are not smiling. This is not to cook, because if you say you want to be buying to every day in this country, sorry for you. Well, that leads me to the next question. In your opinion, what are the key skill sets a student should have, or anybody should have, if they want to venture into the tech space? What are the most important key skills or skill sets that you need to have if you want to excel in the tech space?
So, first of all, I would say, in my own opinion, is the way you think it is, don't just be rigid. Be able to, be able to adapt to the reality of whatever it is. That's the first skill. Then secondly, be very, very inquisitive. Then I always tell people, for everything you're going to do is going to be very difficult. Once you have that mentality that, whatever I'm going to is going to get difficult, it's going to get hard, it's going to get to some point that I want to run away. You want to jackpot and leave.
That's not all I go from.
You want to abandon that stuff and move. I feel it's always best that people have that mindset to start with first of all, so that as you go forward, you know that this stuff is actually difficult and you have to find your way through it. Then the key skills in terms of technical skills to navigate through tech is for you to first of all silence the noise. Silence the noise, because when you come on LinkedIn, are you on LinkedIn? When you come on LinkedIn, you are seeing, I'm so happy to announce that I just got a job in the Bank of America. My benefit is this.
Seriously?
My salary is this. I'm so thankful for the hiring team and the whole process and everything.
You will not be feeling like you're not doing enough.
Yes. So once someone is able to take away that noise, then never compare yourself. I was teaching one of my classmates graphic design. That was 2 years ago. And after a week of him learning, he was like, bros, I'm not doing my side up to your own design.
You want to be on my name, something you just started with.
I was like, I've been in design for close to 10 years. I just started in a week, and you want to level up to. It's not rocket science, it's not magic, right? So you have to follow the due process. It takes time for you to get to a certain level. Then for technical skills, right? Getting into tech, you need to actually do research to know which angle do you want to go into. right? Don't just wake up one morning and say I want to start tech, and maybe hear that Kunle is doing web design. You go on and you join web design, or you hear that Tolani is doing a software engineering, UI UX, which is the popular one. You just jump into UI UX, and maybe after some weeks you be like, this thing, I know if you do them again, and you just leave it alone. So I feel it's always best to do in-depth research. Most of young people now don't do in-depth research. They just scan through. You give them a document to read, they just slide up and go to the bottom of it. They don't actually remain through the lines, right?
They don't see the terms and conditions.
So people don't really. So I was telling my guy, I was like, one day you side me, you're like,
you know what, that two people that was at your what's it called? The innovation summit you did last year at Now University. So when the topic came about, like, I'm guilty of this, like, you will just see sign click terms and conditions. So you don't go through it because you feel like it's ambiguous, it's too much. You just.
So there was something that happened in the tech space that was about 3 years ago. I'm not going to call the platform name. Someone used a platform to collect funding for an occupaxel, and the company already had a policy that if you use if you collect funding or crowdfunding within range, the company seizes the money outright. They are the ghost in the country. Wow. And that was a very big money. It was about $10,000 to $15,000, and the company was like, go to section of our terms and conditions and our policy.
But they could have simply avoided.
And the person went to court, and court was like, you actually agreed to their terms and conditions at the end.
That's all.
There's nothing.
There is nothing you can do because you signed. So this is advice for you that are looking at money through. If you want to sign up for anything online and they tell you read the terms and conditions, it will take you an hour, 30 minutes. Just read it before you sign away whatever you have, the small money you have. But me, I don't have money. So I will read. So we're back. I know you missed me. I mean, come on, it's me. You missed me, bro. And okay. So and our guest is still with us in the studio. So do you want to say one more back? So
welcome back.
Okay. So moving forward, I want to know your opinion. What should students prepare themselves for in the workflow in the future work in terms of the AI innovation taking over? The machine, that all that. What do you think they should get themselves ready for?
Okay. So I had this recent conversation. 48 hours ago, I was seated with the managing director and the chief executive officer of the Nigerian Communications Supply Limited. And we're talking about our different activities at NACOS, our partnerships, and how we empower students, our equip students, with the current technology skill setting and the industry. And she made mention that what NACOS is doing is actually very exciting because organizations like themselves are actually on the lookout for talent. And when you have this skill set, it's very easy for them to hire you. And it's also easy for you to transition from a tertiary institution into the workforce. So as a student, you should always look out for skills that place you on advantage from others, because everybody's looking for somebody exceptional. Don't just narrow it down. Yeah, despite it's always nice to be a professional in a particular skill, but it's always good to also diversify. Let's say, for example, now you're a graphic designer and you've been at it, so very good at it. At some point, you need to diversify into motion graphics, so that when people are looking for a designer, you also have another advantage. So as a student, child is responsible to acquire this skill set, and when you're grounded in a particular skill, then you can begin to add other things that makes you stand out and etc.
So what he's saying, what that means is whatever you are doing, you have to make sure you keep practicing, keep learning. Then if not, AI will take your job from you. It's already happening. So you have to be a master of what you're doing. So looking ahead, what's future aspiration? What's your future plans? As a leader, with the president. What are we seeing in the near future from here?
Okay. First of all, I want to become the president of America.
Because we work better than inside.
No, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, it is possible. Barack Obama was president. And it's also possible that maybe one day Nigerian might, go to the US doing equivalent a double yes. But moving forward, I see myself taking more leadership positions, right? And advancing my education and getting to doctorate level within the next 10 years. That's my career block. Like to become when you're now calling instead of calling like big doctor. PhD.
We saluting now.
No.
I beg now. I want to salute, please.
Maybe I have to join maybe like the Navy for
all these things only
for the saluting, but looking at
making sure that I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, I want to be like you.
Don't be like me, or when we talk, be like you.
Me, I'm still a student too.
Me, I won't be like you. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So, they're taking more leadership position. During the Innovation Summit, I got to speak with, he was a guest at our event, the CEO of New Horizons Nigeria. And he made one, when I was exporting, he made one comment on that. I'm still trying to factor on how you're able to put together this innovation summit. Like, it's being organized as if it's the government, one of government parastatals that's organizing the event.
Sincerely, I would like to just add something. I was so blown away. Like, when I went for that event, I was so blown away. I was like, you're telling me that like students came together to put together something like this? Guys, don't clip on this young man. I'm telling you.
So he said how I was able to put it together is something that he's still trying to understand that students within our level, most of them are still trying to find where A's and B's, and we have already figured it out. That he looks forward to seeing me take more leadership positions in the years future. And I believe it's something that I excel very well when it comes to leadership position, because I always put in 101%. I always make sure that wherever I come in, I make impacts that will last for a very long time. And I always try as much as possible to, give people the opportunity to see what it is. I'm not just being the highest person and people just be here, Mr. President. Try to do as possible to know the people that you are very little. And who knows where the future will take everything. With what he did.
To become the president of America. Okay, so final question before we go is then after the question, we'll also know the question.
Yes.
I can move now.
Yes.
I did not there. I thought So the last question is, what do you think about student loan? I mean, student loan is something that has been in the limelight this year. I mean, from last year to now, that's been the pop-up. And so how do you feel about student loan in Nigeria?
I think it's very important. All fingers are not equal. Most people come from families where they struggle a lot. Most people have to drop out at some point, most especially the elderly ones. You see that someone that maybe is the first one have to drop out so that, take care of the siblings. Nigeria happens to everybody, right? So if there are provisions for student loan and there's a due process at which someone can be able to, get the student loans and probably won't pay back within any particular track, it's very, very necessary, because education should be number one priority of any individual. At least get tertiary. If you're unable to go forward with masters and doctors and the rest, that tertiary education, I feel, is not just the education but the experience within the Nigerian university that shapes your mind as an individual to be able to weather the storm. Because trust me, if you can run for 7 o'clock class, receive pressure from lecturers that are God's
deadlines,
write exams. Most of our schools, we get materials for exams 2 days to the exam. And you now see handout of 500 pages. You now start asking yourself, God, where do I start? Where do I start from? Where do I go to?
Are you sure this is my coding in life?
Make me start to me, show me where I should be, right? So if there's a way for private and both public organizations to be able to provide students, I feel it to be very, very important, because even with the quite increasing school fees, right? A lot of federal universities, their school fees now are like getting close to private university. You see schools where, in my own school, we used to pay about, and 300 level used to pay about 50-something thousand. now school fees is getting to 150,000. So imagine a parent of 3-4 children that to our university, pay for tuition fees, pay for rent, see our rent is going up, to pay for food. Look at Spark. Spark was eating there. Spark is getting to 1,000. Right?
A rich man, they just partners. You don't know. It's rich people that eat Spark.
At least 2 or 3 persons will come together and contribute. They will share it according to the straw.
So guys, this brings us to our 10 seconds game. Are you ready? No more, please. So in 3, 2, 1, if I ask you something, you answer in the next. You answer within 10 seconds. You know part. Should I say 10? I know you said 10. Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Rain or sun?
So,
Why? So what's to eat? Top. White or black?
black always.
Hey. Money or fame? Money or fame?
Money. Lots of it.
Drop out of school, get to spend a below.
Get loan there.
It's lower.
Yes.
And
I'm not going to drop out now. So that I'm not getting the performance.
you get what?
They say that way indeed.
Whether you able to read it that time of America. I cannot drop out and I got to be president of America.
That's all.
Okay, that's it guys. I think you did so well. Thank you so much, and I think I've drained you. Are you tired? Well, we would be saying a little goodbye to our guest who has done exceptionally well. President, Sir, General, Commander-in-Chief of the NACOS Association. So we'd like to say your goodbyes now. Say goodbye to our people.
Thank you guys. It was a very educative session, and we also, on behalf of NACOS, we thank Brainwave NG for everything they've been doing, all the wonderful activities the students do. It's not easy to bring that down on until they want to know to because we said, how much do I have the house to somebody? But it's really, really amazing. On behalf of the 24th Executive Council of NACOS, we thank PRSK NG, and we always will continue to work with them in all.
Thank you so much, guys.